Not very pitcher-friendly, this lineup, especially when the guy at the top has things going. And Dusty Baker's leadoff man, Jose Altuve, showing signs of coming out of it, John, after a 4-for-37 start to this postseason, 3-for-4 in Game 2.
Yeah, and he crushed left-handers on the season, so he's got some things that he takes away from the strengths of Suarez. He likes the ball in. He certainly can slug against left-handers, see if the ball down, and change-ups away. And he'll be ready to swing first pitch.
Off we go in Game 3. He swings away, floats it to right. Castellanos scrapes it off of the
pitches. Well, the first two and 2 outs. There is not a better feeling for a starting pitcher to start a World Series game for the first time and get 2 outs in 2 pitches.
And hey, John, just like we all figured, the Phillies defense, the star of the show.
Yeah.
I mean, come on. Bryson Stott, a nice play. 2 up and 2 down on 2 pitches for Ranger Suarez. And here's Yordan Alvarez, who's the best left-handed hitter against left-handed pitching in baseball. Strike 1. Strike 2.
Well, nothing seems to affect Suarez early. He is pumping strikes. He loves to pitch in with his sinker. He's got a really above-average curveball, good changeup, and a slider.
Oh, 2.
Now there's the numbers. That is pretty strong for a big slugger to have average and power.
And against lefties at a really high level. 1-2 pitch from this left-hander is fouled off. Yordan Alvarez hit a home run in each of the first 2 games of the postseason. That monster walk-off in Game 1 against Seattle. Since then, though, he's 4 for 28.
Yeah, well, Suarez is going to have to be careful now. They tried to throw 2 balls up and in, which is where the hole is. He cannot make a mistake over the plate when you're trying to go in. That's going to be Alvarez.
25 years old, playing in his 3rd World Series already. One of the most feared hitters in the sport. I mean, he strikes fear into you just when he walks up there at 6'5", 230 pounds, and then you're like, okay, probably some swing and miss in a guy like this, right? I mean, he's got as good a plate discipline as anybody to go along with that power. On another 1-2 from Ranger Suarez. He watches ball 2, and there's that plate discipline.
Yeah, he definitely is not bothered by a lot. Now, notice he hasn't thrown a curveball. There's some pretty good numbers that Alvarez has off of left-handed curveballs. And you have to remember, if Suarez, your curveball could be better than the other ones he hit, so don't can it.
2-2. 1-2-3 first. He goes to the curve.
Yeah.
I've got all the flavors wrapped in pretty paper. I'll do you a favor, save you some for later. Yum, yum, yum. Give me some, give me some. Yum, 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 yum.
November 11th.
With my hectic life, you'd think retirement would be the last thing on my mind. Thankfully, Voya provides comprehensive solutions and shows me how to get the most out of my workplace benefits. Voya helps me feel like I got it all under control.
Voya. Well planned, well invested, well protected.
Peaceful state. Full plate. Wait, are you my blind date? Dancing crew, trip for two, now the final interview. Buy or lease. Masterpiece. Inside joke. Artichoke. Game with Doug. Brand new mug. Come here, kid. Give me a hug. The more you want to do, the more we want to do. Boosters designed for COVID-19 variants are now available. Brought to you by Pfizer and BioNTech.
Research shows that people remember ads with young people having a good time. So to help you remember that Liberty Mutual customizes your home insurance, here's a pool party.
Look what I brought!
Liberty Mutual! They customize your home insurance!
So you only pay for what you need!
Young people having a good time with insurance! Young people, good times, insurance!
Only pay for what you need.
Liberty, 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 liberty.
You said no blitz! You said no blitz!
When I was young, I'm not a kid anymore.
Start playing and never stop playing. You get the most from the game when you're having fun.
This is how the Phillies will come to the plate in Game 3. Schwarber, Hoskins, Real Muto. Then Harper, Castellanos, and Bohm. It's the same lineup that Phillies fans have come to expect against right-handed pitchers. Stott, Segura, and Marsh rounded out. And it is the right-handed pitcher that they'll face in Lance McCullers, who's no stranger to the postseason. Kenny detailed it, 18 games in the postseason, including 5 years ago today. He started Game 7 of the World Series at Dodger Stadium. So this is a guy, John, who has been there, done that, brimming with confidence.
And again, we didn't see that in the top of the first, but will the Phillies be a little bit more patient to see, A, is he throwing his breaking ball for strikes? He can get erratic in the strike zone, but he has the most confidence I've ever seen for a young pitcher to think he's better than anybody else on the mound. We'll see if he lives up to that, because he has been electric in the postseason.
Buckle up here, buddy. Less than a month ago, Kyle Schwarber got a first pitch fastball from him and crushed it for a homer. He goes back door and misses. 1 ball, no strikes.
We're going to see a high off speeds, about 86% to left-handers in the game he had against New York. A lot of sliders and curveballs with changeups.
1 ball, 1 strike. Throws his fastball less than any pitcher in the majors. About 25% of the time. And everybody knows Lance McCullers for his curveball, but he once threw 24 consecutive times in a championship series game. But he's added a slider to that. Breaks it inside, 2-1.
There's the curveball. He throws what sometimes looks like an uphill slider. In other words, he can throw it up in the zone against left-handers, and it gives the appearance that it's going to be a ball, but stays in the strike zone. Then he'll change speeds with that breaking ball. And that's what you got to wait and watch. If you're Philadelphia, the ball out of his hands sometimes pops out of his hands. If he's got command of that pitch, you got to be on alert. But behind in the count, don't expect you're going to get a fastball, because he will have the confidence to throw the breaking ball.
Tough spot here, 3-1. Schwarber takes strike 2 on the outside corner.
Back door to left-handers will be a lot of his sliders. Okay, they're going to try to get the outside part of the plate, give the left-hander basically look like it comes as a ball and catches the part of the strike zone later than they're willing to swing.
Kyle Schwarber started this postseason 0 for 16. Is hitting .346 over a 9-game on-base streak since. He leads off Game 3 with a walk. And extends the on-base streak to 10 games very promptly. John, how about our keys to the game sponsored by Xfinity?
Well, for Houston, business as usual. They're going to play a conventional game because they have a conventional starter, and they're going to have to find a way to take the crowd out of the game, which they did, and put their crowd early and often in Houston. For the Philadelphia Phillies, you know what? Rangers got to avoid the crooked numbers. That's what Houston's been able to do, and they got to find a way to hit the very fastball that they may not see very often tonight. But when they get it, and he makes a mistake, you got to hit that fastball. You're going to see a lot of breaking balls tonight.
Rhys Hoskins got a first pitch fastball and missed it.
Every hitter will tell you, most of them, they don't want to get beat on the fastball. You see fastball, adjust to the rest. Well, chances are you're not going to see more than one or two in and at bat off of McCullers. So I would look in the area of right-handed batters. If that ball starts it, you'd be ready to hit it, because that's the breaking ball that's going to be in the zone. If it starts away, find a way to kind of spin on it and don't swing at it.
Next, half the time if it's away, it's going to miss outside, because half the time it's going to be a breaking ball. That's another fastball, and it's 0-2 on Hoskins. Rhys Hoskins has saved his best for these special nights in South Philly. Adney, 5 home games this postseason, 4 home runs, 10 RBIs in those 5 games.
Yeah, he's definitely coming through in the times where he needed it most. Had some plays that he would love to have back, but the homers kind of made up for it.
An 0-2 hole. McCullers comes back home, and that's down and away, ball 1.
What he does, McCullers, is if he's not pulling his left shoulder towards first base, where you see in some breaking balls miss, he'll change speeds on his breaking balls, and he changes the kind of the tilt on it, so he makes one look like 2, 3, 4 different pitches.
Long pause, fires 1-2, and gets a chase to strike out Hoskins.
I always felt that if a right-hander knows how to spin the baseball, and let's say you stay off of a really good slider that just misses the zone, you sweep it from top corner to bottom corner and change speeds.
Well, Lance McCullers missed a lot of this year with a forearm injury that he suffered last postseason, so he came back in mid-August, only made 8 starts during the regular season. And in his 2 starts in the postseason, a very different guy. We went back and watched both those starts pretty closely. That start against the Mariners, he was really good. 6 shutout innings. Wasn't as sharp against the Yankees.
No, he didn't have his breaking ball early. He got behind in a lot of counts, and they made him pay for it.
Gave up 4 runs over 5 innings on 8 hits in that game. Astros came from behind to win it and clinch.
Ball down.
A little low. Ball 1 on Real Muto.
But that's what the Phillies are going to be chasing, or trying not to chase. That pitch right there. The ball down with the fastball sink action is a great combination for him. He'll mix in some changeups, but if they can stay away from swinging at pitches out of the zone, they'll have success tonight.
Real Muto, the hero of game 1, fouls this one off. 1 ball, 1 strike. The many guys that has loved hitting in this ballpark. Phillies in the postseason, 7 runs a game here. They've hit 12 homers in the 5 games here. On a 1-1 pitch, Real Muto takes inside, ball 2.
He's flying open, and when you fly open, you're going to suffer. Command is going to suffer, and I'm sure he's revved up here in this crowd and on the road. But not a good recipe for the strike zone if you're not slowing down that front side. That front shoulder is key.
Well, there's an issue with McCullers, typically is walks. 29-year-old's 2-1 pitch. Perfect. 2-2.
JT does such a great job against right-handers, really kind of controlling the ability for a right-hander to throw a lot of curveballs to him. And he doesn't, McCullers doesn't throw a lot of curveballs to righties anyways, but staying on the slider and the breaking ball has been kind of pretty good for JT so far.
Scott Schwarber first after his leadoff walk on a 2-2 pitch. Grounds it foul. JT Real Muto, the total package. He hits. He runs. This is a catcher who stole 21 bases in 22 tries this year, and he's the best defensive catcher in the majors. That became official today. Won a Gold Glove.